While you sleep, a hidden plumbing network deep inside your brain activates to wash away the toxins linked to Alzheimer's disease. Your brain is an incredibly energy-demanding organ. As cells fire throughout the day, they produce toxic byproducts like amyloid beta. When not cleared out, this pooling waste suffocates surrounding cells, creating inflammation that drags down firing signals and leads to profound fatigue. Preventing this daily microscopic buildup is the primary requirement for protecting your memory and preserving your cognitive health as you age. Doctors have understood the body's lymphatic waste system for centuries. However, the brain appeared to exist in total isolation, completely cut off from that network by its own biological barriers. This raises a massive historical question. How did scientists and this bulky medical imaging equipment completely miss the brain's primary waste management system? This massive gap in anatomy remained completely hidden from medical science until barely 10 years ago. Researchers finally found the glymphatic system. Rather than using dedicated tubes, it acts as a pseudo-channel, flushing cerebrospinal fluid through tight spaces between cells. Relying on these microscopic gaps, perivascular spaces, it lacks distinct walls, making it nearly impossible to spot on standard brain scans. Furthermore, the moment an organism dies, this fragile fluid architecture physically collapses. This rendered traditional autopsies and dissections useless for finding it. But the biggest hurdle for researchers was that glymphatic flow is state-dependent. While a person is awake, the system remains almost entirely inactive. Researchers failed to find the brain's defense mechanism because they searched for static anatomy, rather than a microscopic event that only occurs when we sleep. To see what happens when this plumbing breaks down, we can look at a recent clinical study of veterans suffering from chronic multi-symptom conditions like Gulf War illness and ME/CFS. Researchers compared 203 veterans experiencing severe chronic pain and exhaustion against a control group of 224 healthy individuals of the same age and gender. Using a specialized MRI, they tracked cerebrospinal fluid movement without contrast eyes. In a healthy subject, fluid flows perfectly parallel. In the chronically ill, flow scores dropped as liquid escaped through the channel walls, behaving like a punctured hose. The researchers then aligned those fluid efficiency scores with the patient's symptoms. The individuals with the worst exhaustion, the sharpest pain, and the most severe insomnia had the absolute lowest fluid flow scores. Widespread conditions like chronic fatigue and brain fog can stem directly from a measurable mechanical failure in the brain's internal plumbing. This creates a severe physiological trap. The clearance mechanism requires deep sleep to activate, but the resulting toxin buildup actively degrades sleep quality. The clinical data proves how tight this cycle is. A staggering 96% of the chronically ill patient group suffered from clinically recognized insomnia. Viewed through the lens of the glymphatic system, poor sleep acts as a physical barrier. It effectively chokes the mechanism, preventing the brain from ever starting its wash cycle. Breaking this specific feedback loop is the absolute prerequisite for halting long-term neurodegeneration. Right now, standard MRI technology isn't sensitive enough to diagnose individuals in a local clinic. However, the frontier of longevity science is heavily focused on finding therapies to optimize this exact system. Researchers are testing several emerging interventions to assist glymphatic flow, prioritizing deep sleep triggers, maintaining proper hydration for cerebrospinal fluid volume, and even experimental intracranial light therapies. Aggressively protecting your sleep hygiene provides a vital service. It facilitates the daily mechanical flush of your brain's most dangerous metabolic waste. Subscribe to Vitality Protocol HQ for more longevity science.